This is Mentally Dope. Join us, Charmaine and Jasmine, two Black licensed therapists, as we build a bridge between mental health and Black culture. Come on, it's gonna be dope. Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi.
If you're looking at this, then it's almost Christmas, okay? It's
And
almost
we're going to
Christmas.
do almost Christmas.
Oh my gosh. And this is what we're doing. You already know. So welcome. I don't know if y'all remember this movie back in the day. What was it? I wrote the year.
I believe that should not be back in the day, but I guess that was
It's not like old school at all.
I think
It's
it was
recent.
like 2017 or so.
Yeah, I think it was 2016. Something like that. But older,
Yeah, I think it was.
oldish movie. That was nostalgic. Maybe I haven't seen it before. You know me. I be watching stuff and then who knows if I've seen it before. But in my spirit, it felt like I hadn't seen it before. And I was like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah.
You know, we love Will Packard. You know, we like the stuff that he does. It has
I
heart.
I don't think I realized that it was a Will Packer movie when I first watched it. It wasn't until I don't know, maybe even like this time that I watched it that I was like, oh yeah.
I saw the credits and I was like, oh, I see what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't have many notes for this movie. But it brings up like some important stuff that happens around the holidays. I know everybody loves that. It's so much fun. It's so wonderful. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Isn't that what they say?
And it's not. It's not.
For a lot of people, it's actually like the hardest time of the year.
Yeah.
Most difficult time of the year. It's not happy at all. Or like it's filled with a whole bunch of changes. And so happy is just not really that close by. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. The quick synopsis is what happens? You love a synopsis.
The quick synopsis of this movie is that there is a family, a mother, a father, and their 4 kids. Yeah, 2 boys, 2 girls. And there are 4 kids, and it is the first holiday it's the first Christmas after the mother has passed. And the mother is like the matriarch of the family, the person who like holds the glue together, and they're dealing with everybody coming together. The dad has asked everybody to come together and stay in the house for 5 days, which to me, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, 5 days was when I heard that, I was like, whoa. But
He would just keep counting. 1,
whoa,
2, 3, 4,
yikes.
5.
I don't know if I could have did it, but he was like 5 days, just stay in the house, us all together, leading up to Christmas. Let's have Christmas together. And then we are looking at, of course, the movie is hilarious, it's funny, but we're looking at how everybody is dealing with the grief of the mother passing. And then we're also seeing how everybody is dealing with things that were clearly there before the mother passed, but without her being there to hold be there to hold it together, how they're kind of struggling with like figuring out, I guess, what the new normal is going to look like, even though nobody wants this new normal. I think like that's one of the hard parts of grief to me, is that when something shifts within the family and now we have to figure out how to find what we call homeostasis, or like how to how we find our new rhythm when nobody wants a new rhythm. Nobody wanted this thing to happen. It's different when you yeah, we want this change, or yeah, I said I'm gonna make a boundary and all these things are gonna change. But it's different when nobody wanted the change to happen, but it just comes, and now we have to adjust.
Yeah. Yeah. So we see this family in the midst of having to do all the things, having to be together, having to find some joy and some fun and some connection, and dealing with grief, which I don't know. I think we're all dealing with some level of grief, big and small, but they had a different type of grief. This is big grief. So we're basically going to talk to you about how to just cope around the holidays. Because, I mean, we need to cope all year. We need coping skills. That's so important. Therapists love coping skills. And I think we need a bigger set of coping skills, maybe a more robust set of coping skills when it comes to bigger stuff like this.
But I think that you brought up a good point that is something that I think that this movie brings up, and that I think that a lot of us struggle with, is that there are certain times in life, especially when it's like family grief, where we can ignore it a little bit. Like you see 4 siblings who all had something going on individually in their own individual life. None of them, I think that one of them, the one that was like running for Congress, I think he was somewhere in the area, but like most of them didn't even like live like close, so they were able to separate. I don't even have to see y'all.
You
Like
don't have to be in the house where she
yeah, I
lived.
can possibly talk to y'all, not possibly talk to y'all, so I don't really have to deal with what's going on. Even like not only like with the grief, but even with us. If me and you are having an issue, I ain't got to see you until like next Christmas. So I can ignore you
Correct.
January through December.
And it's not a problem anymore. I'm not there. Right? It's
So
not in front
yeah,
of me. It
like
doesn't
is it
exist.
like lingering under the surface? Yeah, it's lingering, and I'm pretty sure it's bothering somebody, or like the memories come up every now and then. But as far as like day to day life, I don't have to deal with you. So I think that you're bringing up a good point too. That sometimes maybe if we dealt with some of this stuff before the holidays came, this wouldn't be an issue. But most of us don't. I get it. No judgment. We just don't. So here we are.
Yeah, but I think that's a big deal. Like, when I used to work in baby jail, there was a kid that during this course of his stay, because he was there for years, that's a whole nother thing, he lost his grandmother. His grandmother was really important to him. He struggled with that. So before he got to be let out, because that's not my choice, that's somebody else's choice, I did a thing that he did not like, which was made him go on a home pass. Everybody loves a home pass, but he didn't want this particular home pass because I wanted him to go back to the place where his grandmother lived, even though she passed, so that that wouldn't be so shocking and he wouldn't have to do that without support.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so I think for you, like exactly what you're saying is that when you're going to do this thing and there's a big transition, just doing everything all at once without like easing your way into it can be kind of hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes we
100%.
get that choice and sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
But I think that's what everybody's dealing with. Like, oh, I don't have to think about this thing until we get there. And then they get there and they're like, oh, I wasn't ready for this. This is too much. There's too much memories. It's too, like, I'm in the house, the things, like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And everybody starts tripping out.
Because I wondered the way that, especially like Gabrielle Union's character, I was like, maybe she hadn't even been I'm back in the house since.
No, she hadn't, because she stepped in and she was like, it's just weird being here and she's not
Yeah.
here.
So
So,
I
like,
was like-
maybe for the funeral and stuff, but after that, then no.
Yeah. So even that, like maybe like there should have been like some baby steps of like, let's go visit the house. Or
But you haven't
like,
even probably been in that town. Like,
Yes.
it's different to be in the town that you grew up in and everything, like you grew up there, so everything reminds you of your family or your childhood. That's really, really hard.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And we see with this family, like we were saying, that they had issues that were there
Absolutely.
prior to this.
Absolutely.
And apparently, like we think that like with the two,
Which we all do, right? That's families.
with the two sisters' issues, that the mother may have been like the one holding them together.
Maybe.
That she may have been the one like keeping them.
Or
fighting,
pushing
yeah.
them to, you need to make up. Come on, it's your sister. You know how parents be like, it's your family. You always going to have, listen, we always had family talks in my house. My God, that's your brother. Y'all don't need to fight. If you got anybody in this world, you have that person. We ain't going to be here, but your brother is.
Yeah.
So y'all need to have a good relationship. And having all that pressure, but sometimes it's good pressure.
Yeah, I think that sometimes like we need those memories. I think that like the interesting thing about this movie, which I loved, is that we saw another element of the grief too. So like we have like the father, we have the kids, and then we have her sister who comes in. Aunt May pops in, and like nobody knew that she was coming, but she was like, I need family for the holidays too.
And also she knew like they would need her.
Yes, but like you can tell that she brought a different type of energy. Aunt May was a different type of energy.
Who is
And-
Monique? Did you say Monique? Because
Yes.
please understand what we said.
Yes, and I think that like I remember like watching like one of the behind the scenes where they said that literally her role was made as a cameo. She only had like one line in the movie, and then when she came on, she was on there making jokes, and
Of
they
course.
literally made her. So like all of her lines are like an ad lib.
Yeah, they seem improvised.
So
You can
it's like her being her,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like her energy with the sisters is like, do it again, do it again, put your hands on her again,
Right,
if you want
exactly.
to.
Which is
Like,
different from mom energy.
Yes.
It's auntie energy, but that special auntie that you got. Mm-hmm.
So it's like that too, to be able to see that they were dealing with different dynamics, but also to be able to see that the sister was struggling. the sister had her grief, the sister had her issues, and her sister was also trying to hold it together for her nieces and nephews.
In her style.
Yeah, and her brother-in-law in her style. Which I appreciated that too, because I feel like that sometimes, and I'm not sure if you guys have ever had to deal with this, but sometimes when we're grieving and someone tries to step into the role of the person who was like
who passed.
yes, and almost to the point of them trying to like imitate that person, and it's like you know sometimes it does benefit to just like be yourself. I think we talked about this one time in one of our past shows with the living single when Sinclair was trying to like make it stop, which was like trying to like woo 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 regime, and then Overton was
the breast
like,
reduction one.
yes,
Yeah.
and Overton was like, baby, sometimes you want to bring a rainbow to to the rain, and sometimes I need you to let it rain, like just like let it rain.
No, but it's raining outside. Like it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's that and I think like it comes from a good place that there's someone trying to like step into that spot, but then it's also just like go back into your space, continue to be you, and we just have to deal with the fact that the space is empty.
Yeah.
And
I think
I've been there, but
no, but yeah, I think that's the hard part of like people want it to look different. And so we spend a lot of time like trying to ignore it, trying to make it seem like it's not happening, busying ourselves around it, like not sitting down during the holiday and all that because we don't want to deal with the fact that it's happened, but it's happened. We can't make it unhappen, we can't change it, and that's really hard. And I always tell people like you may not like it, but this is actually a great place for it because you have community. You have other people who know exactly what it feels like to have lost this person, to sit in this grief. What better time than now to do that with support?
yeah, I think that it's also the hard thing too. So this is like one of so we're talking about coping, like during this time and like getting through it. And one thing that I will always say too is I think that the hard space, and once again, like I said, I've been here, but that hard space for wanting the holiday to look the way that past holidays have looked. So you want to have fun. You want this to be like the joyous time. You want to play all the music. You want everybody to be dancing around. And the fact that there is like this level of sadness, like maybe we're just going to cry a little bit. Or maybe there is going to be the part where we struggle a little bit. And we may not have the energy to get up and like electric slide the whole day. Like,
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Have all the stuff, have all the food, have all the recipes, the whole thing. So it's just like dealing with that. And there's nothing, I mean, the good news and the bad news is like there's nothing to do about it. You can't make it happen or unmake it happen. You just have to accept the fact that it has happened and it looks that way.
Yeah. And I think that also accepting that everybody may be grieving differently as long as it's not harmful. So like, and that's one of the things that we see with like,
and it can get there.
I mean, cause like, we see this in the movie. We have the youngest child, who was grieving with pills.
The baby. It's not funny, but she's just like, you're the oopsie baby. And
I was not an oopsie baby. It's like all people have like, their last kid in their 50s, but like, she was so wrong for saying that.
I was that sister, but as a child, I might still say that to my brother, but it's okay.
I love me some Jesse T. Usher, who plays the youngest son. But yeah, he was coping with pills, and at that point, it's like, okay, like I can let you be silent, I can let you have your moments. I'll even let you get a little attitude every now and then because I understand that you're going through something. But no, I'm not gonna let you cope with. I'm not gonna let you cope with a substance. And I've had those moments too, like even personally, like you can have one drink, maybe even two, and then hand me that bottle. We're done.
Yeah, but that's also why you got to be around your folks, right? Because let me be keep it a stack. In my family, we have the disappearers who are not going to show up and are not going to come to the family event because everybody's going to know what's up.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're going to call them out on their stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, so-and-so has passed, and literally, this just happened this year, and now ain't nobody heard from so-and-so, because besides the fact that he doesn't want to be reminded and he's having a hard time coming back, also, people going to get in your business and be like, what's up with you? We ain't heard from you. What's going on?
No, 100%.
And there's that level of, like, I don't want any accountability.
I don't want to be held accountable. Um, but I think that that's the hard part too. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if no one holds you accountable, you don't make any changes, you don't like, and you just continue to isolate, nothing. This is how this is how
Mm-hmm.
life is going to be. I literally talked to someone the other day who told me that when the grief happened in their family, she said, I haven't seen my brother since then, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I mean, like
Absolutely.
that happens too. Like, and does that make it better just because you've been isolated for the past 5 6 years? The grief didn't go away. You're just avoiding people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I see that a lot working with families of just like this happened, this person passed away, and it shattered our family, and now nobody can come back together because that grief was so hard and so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a part, unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know, or just neutral. It's a part of the grieving process, right? People don't know how to handle it. They go, and ideally, they can come back together and figure it out and connect again, but it's really really hard.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for like any type of death,
Yeah.
which is really hard. So part of that is our tip for you is don't shy away from accountability. It's not a bad thing, right? Everybody can adjust the tone of the way that they give you the message.
Yeah.
Correct. You ain't got to like cuss nobody out or talk to anybody crazy to hold them accountable. But we also don't have to run from accountability.
Yeah, I think that like that was the hard space. So let's go back to Cheryl and Rachel, which is Gabrielle Union and Kimberly Elise's characters. There's the two sisters. You can tell that they're semi close in age, but Kimberly Elise is the older sister. Gabrielle Union's the younger sister. They do not get along. They have like moments where they get along. Both of them need to be held accountable. Both of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them have issues that are going on in their personal lives, and they want everybody to act like they don't see them. It's like not address them,
Right.
even though they're both painfully obvious. You have one who is broke and painfully broke to the point that everybody can see it, and then you have the other one whose husband is clearly out here in these streets and everybody can see it. But I don't want anybody to say anything to me. Don't My business is my business. Leave me alone. Don't address anything.
That part. And when they fight, they both pick at each other about those two insecurities.
Yes.
So then it's always explosive.
Which is the hard thing because, like you're saying, you do need to hold yourself accountable. You do need to have people to hold you accountable, but you do need to feel emotionally safe in places where you can be held accountable. So you have two people, two sisters who care about each other.
Somewhere deep down.
Yes, but they don't feel emotionally safe enough to with each other.
Yeah, partially. That's part of it. It also sounds like they didn't really talk about stuff in their family that much. There was something there, or maybe mom was the person who introduced that. They're like, y'all need to talk. Y'all need to figure that out. And that was not a skill that they were able to do on their own.
Yeah.
So I think all of it.
I think that like that's the hard part too is because like you can see that we talked about this in one of our last videos talking about the family that prays where like Alfred Woodard says that like it doesn't matter like what you pour into your kids, you aren't going to be your kid's only influence. And so like I don't even know if it was like just like the parents, but something happened for like Rachel. Oh, she's been married, she's been divorced, she's really really hyper independent. Something has made her hyper independent. She doesn't want anybody to help her. Even though she's struggling, she clearly needs a little bit of direction because she's changed careers a couple of times, and I think like major careers because they said that she went from like being like a vet to like a teacher.
She just
to
doesn't know what she wants to do. Like she's trying to figure that out.
Yes, and she has a child, and then she's also influencing her child to go into this with her too. Be quiet. Don't say anything. Like, don't tell anybody. This is our stuff. I need you to be hyper independent as well too. So, and luckily
we know how that goes. Tell your kids not to say nothing, and we'll see how that turns out.
But luckily, the child is also wise enough to see her mother and be like, "That ain't what I want. That ain't what I want to be."
And also look at all the consequences it's brought you. Maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
Fam, that's not good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And but then we also see like I said, so both of them need to be accountable. Both of them needed they needed the support, and they could have been that for each other because you could tell that they loved each other. They just did not want to open up for those reasons. You couldn't even tell like the reasons why they did not why they did not even like each other.
And I feel like that happens in families too.
Yeah.
Like you could be like something happened and you ask them like why what was the origin of this, and I'd be like, I don't even know that. I just know that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
It's been 10 years of me feeling like this. I don't even know what she did anymore, but I know I felt some type of way.
I mean, what did she say to you? I don't even remember. I know it was out of line, it's out of pocket, and then here we are. So we struggle, and I think both of them at least, almost everybody, probably except the congressman brother, they struggle with just not talking about stuff, right? Like if I don't talk about it, if I don't look at it, it just doesn't exist at all.
Yeah. But you can also tell too, and we see this too, that um he almost seems like that he turned to his immediate family. So he had his wife and his two kids, and it was
Christian.
almost, yes, and it was almost like they became his family. I don't know what I got going on over there, but I'm gonna turn this way because this feels safer and this feels more comforting.
Maybe so. But he also had a good partner who would turn him back to like, we need to be a family.
Yeah, and
We
I
need
feel
to be
like
present.
that she was the one pushing and being like, "You need to go up to this house." Well, no, we're not staying in the hotel. We're staying over here with your with your dad. Like I don't like that you're doing these things. Like so, I think that like that is a good aspect as well. Like
Yeah.
having someone else who also holds you accountable and knows what values should be important.
And also like, I think it's also very much a kid thing that to forget that your parents also need things. Like nobody was able to consider the fact that maybe dad needed them to be in the house because he was in the house alone after his wife died. Perhaps he needed them to be there, and everybody was just like, I don't really like this. I don't think so. I don't really want to do this. This is not best for me. And nobody was like taking the time to consider like, oh, like he needs us.
Yeah, and I think that like we even seen that when the movie kind of comes to a head as it like continues to go. Like we have the stuff going on with the two sisters. You have the stuff going on with the brother who's running for Congress and he's not even aware of the history of some of the stuff that he's voting against. And then you have the younger brother who is, like we said, he's coping with pills and he's not really talking to anybody. I'm sure that it was also really hard on him too, being like so much younger than everybody else. And him
Yeah, a little
saying
more
that, like, you
isolated.
know, yeah, that his mom was there with him all the time, but like he didn't have a close sibling. So like it's just him. And then like when he finds out that the dad is trying to sell the house, he blows up. And he's like, you know, I can't believe that you would like do this and you would like do this to me. And like, you know, we're all struggling. And the dad's like, I'm struggling.
What about me?
I lost my wife too. Like I'm in this big house by myself.
Right.
I'm going through all these things.
That was very dramatic, by the way.
Yeah,
This is my house. You saying your ass is my house.
but I think it was also the hard part too because Billy, you know, you saw in that scene he was talking, nobody was listening. He was inside. I mean, like he was talking calmly, like, hey, 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 hey. Like, at what point do you guys stop yelling and hear that I have an opinion? And I'm saying something. And I'm wondering also too, and I don't know if this, I know what this was like for me personally, having a mother who did a lot of like the matriarch stuff and the talking stuff, and having a father who may not have like always been like the vocal one or like the really loud one. So at this point now, when like she's gone and he's like, hey.
And all he can do is be like, I said 5 days. I said 5 days. Give me 5 days. And everybody's just like, okay, we here, but nobody knows how to connect because everybody's fighting the whole time.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I also need y'all to chill out, but we don't know how to make that happen yet.
Yes, and we don't. And I think like the hard thing too is that he also gave a very, very vulnerable statement when he said in the movie, he was like, he said something to the extent of like this grief is like learning how to walk again. And all of us have to learn how to walk again.
And we have to learn together.
Yeah.
This is the process. This is not a thing that you do on your own. We have to do it together. Or you can do it on your own, but learning to walk again on your own is always going to be harder by yourself than to do it with other people.
Yeah.
You just need other people. That's it.
So, another advice too, avoiding conflict does not make it go away. So, I mean, kind of like what we said, avoiding it does not make it go away. And even if you avoid it in community, we see that with the people who are like, okay, I'm just going to come to the house. I'm going to sit in the corner. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to have anything to do with this. That doesn't make it go away. If anything, you're making things uncomfortable and awkward for no reason. like I said, it may not be the best time in the middle of dinner to like pop off and have an issue the way that seems to happen in all these movies. I don't know what
It's
happens
always
at
over
dinner.
dinner. It's
Yeah, it's
always
always over
over
dinner
dinner.
that like something pops off. So like, no, that is not the best time. But we gonna need to address this.
So we go through that.
Um, Creating boundaries, I think, is one for the holidays as well too. Being aware of what you can handle and what you cannot handle. I talked to a lot of clients about this year and just about for the holidays in general. For one, like we said, you are going to have to be able to push through some situations, have community, do those things. But if you can't handle 5 days, don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be there for 5 days.
Baby.
If
Okay.
you have certain people in your life who are disrespectful, or who are going to put you in situations that are uncomfortable or are unsafe, or you got those like rude aunties who are going to be like, why there ain't no buns in that oven when you don't want to discuss that, or something like that, why you putting on weight when you don't want to discuss those things. Have boundaries around certain situations, maybe even have ways to like respond in advance so that you don't get frustrated. Respond in ways that are not cussing the aunties out, but like, have ways to protect yourself and create those boundaries. Like we said, boundaries do not have to be doors, they can be windows to teach people how to treat you.
Wait, what's the door? You can open a door and a window.
I get it, but I thought that sometimes we just be
No,
doing,
what's the difference?
we just be shutting
Door
doors.
is like lock it. Don't
Yes.
ever open it again. A window. Okay, I understand. Yes, boundaries are good, and God bless. I would encourage y'all to learn about boundaries. Listen, maybe we need to do its own separate video about boundaries.
Probably.
Because my little cheat, my little hack for you is gonna be to just tell you what the difference is. So a boundary is not. She better not do that. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna do this, but she better not do X, Y, and Z because it's gonna
And
piss
if
me
she
off.
do, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, that's not a boundary, right? It might be the information you need about why you need to set a boundary, but that's not a boundary, right? So one thing that you can do in order to prepare to be around in a situation that might not be ideal is think about what you need. What is it that I need? What is the limitation going to be for myself, right? I can show up, I can mingle with them, but if somebody starts to put their volume up above where it needs to be, I don't need that, right? And have it your own inventory, right? We can talk about X, Y, and Z, but until we get to this subject, that's my limit. And then once you know what you need, you can tell other people about it.
Yeah.
That is it. All you have to do is go and say, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm doing. But because you already know what you need, you can be like, listen, I need this from you. If you're not able to give this from me, I'm out. I'm outie. I'm doing something different. I won't engage in the conversation. Whatever. It's not policing other people's behavior.
Yeah.
It is controlling yourself.
But I also think that there is a level of accountability that goes with that. That when people give you boundaries, it is not always the time for you to defend yourself. I get it, and we even see this in this movie that when people call people out or people say stuff, instead of being accountable or instead of apologizing, the first thing that we want to do is go into defense mode. I didn't do that. That's not what happened. Like I don't know. I don't know what kind of issue. I don't know what kind of issue you got. Like we go into this complete defensive and deflective thing, or actually the problem really is so now I want to deflect and go back into something else instead of just
bringing the bold stuff.
Yes, instead of just being accountable. So if you're saying, I can't handle people yelling, my defense doesn't need to be, well, I got to get my point across. Don't nobody care. I only yell when I need to explain stuff. That's not what I asked you.
But I'm telling you, I can't do that.
Well, then I can't be here.
Okay, then the conversation's over. We're not having a conversation anymore, right? You can keep yelling. You can yell at the wall. I'm just not going to be here to receive what you have to say.
Yes. And so I think it goes the same way of like, well, I should be able to say what I want to say.
You should.
Say that. But not
without
to me.
Yelling. And if you can't, yes.
But
it won't
like
be to me.
Also, with like all those like little like rude comments I'm gonna ask you about da 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 da. I'm telling you that makes me uncomfortable. I should be able to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
I mean, that's a great signal that somebody is not willing to change, or to even inspect their behavior to adjust it.
But to me, that's also not accountability.
No, it's not. I'm saying, but that's the information you need, right? If you put a boundary down and the person you put a boundary down around is just like, I hate this is terrible. How could you do this to me? It's probably not only proof that you need the boundary, but also, hey, like you probably need to scoot that boundary even further because they're pushing it back against it. It's even a bigger problem than it
Yeah.
was before. So, like, feel confirmed. I'll say that. Some people think that if you put down boundaries and somebody is upset by that boundary or has a big reaction to that boundary, you shouldn't have done it or it was wrong. But that doesn't necessarily make it wrong. It really reinforces like, hey, we needed some safety
Yeah.
because possibly your behavior is not safe.
Yeah. But and there's some people who would never see their behavior as unsafe because they find ways to justify it.
And that's fine, right? And that's a different conversation, right? Some solutions are not boundaries. Some boundaries are not the only solutions, right? We need to decide how we can be in relationship with people in a way that is safe.
Yeah. And sometimes I think that the unfortunately, as much as I think that a lot of people hate this, sometimes the relationship is no relationship.
Hmm. But there's plenty of options,
Yeah.
right? Like
And there is also options
plenty.
before you get there. Like
That's
like
what I'm
you
saying.
said.
There's so many
Yes.
options before we get to that place. Nobody is excited about, I had this conversation this week. Nobody's excited about cutting off their family or not being connected to those things. Like, if you are at that point, you have been through step after step after step
Well,
after
you should have
trial.
been through step by step, and that's what I'm
Probably.
saying too.
I mean, I would
think that,
hope so.
I think that there are some people who like immediately, we haven't had a conversation, we haven't discussed anything, we haven't tried to heal. We're just saying, I'm not dealing with this, and I'm leaving. Like okay, that to me is a little bit more harmful and more isolating because you aren't even giving anybody a chance. If I'm doing something to offend you or I'm doing something to hurt you and you haven't even told me about it, oh, she should just know. Well, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe I really don't realize how my tone really affects you.
Yeah. No, but I'm with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rephrase it and say it robs you of the opportunity to grow in maturity.
Yeah.
Because being in relationship means there's going to be conflict, there's going to be misunderstandings, there's going to be a back and forth, there's going to be hurt feelings. Like all of these things come with being in relationship with people. And it's a level of maturity to be able to endure some of that and grow through some of that and improve your communication skills around this.
Yeah.
But this is different for people who are harmful, abusive, aggressive, those kinds of things. That doesn't necessarily apply to them.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why we can't go from just like cut it off immediately. You need to try. You need to see what's going on. But if these people are abusive and terrible like that, you don't have to be in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. It's not the same. Okay? Don't misunderstand me.
Yes. I think that like, and you made a good point too, that sometimes that we don't always have to run from conflict because conflict can be healing. Like I get it that it can be uncomfortable. It could be like things that we don't want to have to deal with. A lot of times there's fear that's underneath in there. Not always, I mean, sometimes it could be physical fear, but not always just like physical fear, but like fear of like the uncomfortableness of like what's going to happen or like fear of like rejection or abandonment or whatever it may be. But sometimes it's like on the other side of that conversation can be healing. So
Absolutely.
not running from the potential conflict or thinking that every single conversation has to be conflict.
Which I think for some people it can feel like that.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's why we need to know that all conflict ain't bad conflict. You want to hear my hot take?
Sure. What's your hot take?
It's a little spicy. But I think that we don't necessarily want conflict to look the way that it looked in this movie, like at the dinner when everything got kind of crazy and the girl pulled out the shotgun. It was like, you finna die. Like it was explosive. But I do think that sometimes families are able to heal with conflict. It may not be what you intended. It might even result in someone being loud or yelling or look a little crazy for a second. But sometimes those shifts are needed so that things can look different, right? So I think my thing is we can still like love mom, grieve mom, and maybe she stepped in too much and didn't let us learn how to solve our own problems.
Yeah.
And so this explosion might have been helping us get on the path to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the person who is showing up and perhaps even over functioning at times might have negatively impacted the family's ability to be independent and cohesive
Yeah.
And so if we can see some of this conflict in our families, especially after like grief and all that other stuff, as almost a helpful thing, right? Like good information or good growing pains so that we can get to a different place, it can be positive. It doesn't always have to be negative.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're not going to feel grief. That doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. But it's not always a bad thing. Like if you talk to a family therapist, we love a little conflict. We love a little friction because then we're getting to the root of the issue, right?
Yeah.
We can't, if everything's all hunky dory and happy all the time, then like we ain't doing nothing.
But I think that is the hard thing, is that for a lot of us, when we notice those feelings internally, for a lot of people, it's like a flashing red light that says run. So you go to talk to somebody, or someone comes to you and it's like, hey, can we talk? And you're immediately like, I gotta go this way. Or like, we're having this like deep conversation, and as soon as someone says, well, this happened, ooh, I gotta go. Because I can't deal with this uncomfortable feeling, and before I even get like fully into it, I'm just gonna run.
Or us black people, we'll throw a joke in there. Oh, here you go. You always trying to get sentimental. We having a good time. We don't need you to do all that. Like there's all this pushback about like, oh, we're not doing feelings right now. That's too much. That's too much. We're not doing feelings
Oh
right
yeah, or like you said, as soon as we get serious, somebody has to make a joke, or someone like just something funny to like get us out of it.
now. Absolutely. And then we don't get to grow because behind the hard stuff is the growing.
Yeah.
It can be if we allow it to be.
And I think it's even that too, that sometimes behind the hard stuff, you're either going to grow together or grow individually.
Both are good, right? Both
Yeah.
are necessary. And growing individually doesn't even mean growing apart. Just growth.
Yeah.
We like growth. Keep growing. What else you got? Oh, I think I got one last thing.
Okay.
One thing that I see a lot as well as in the holidays is that people get a little bit stuck of, okay, it was the thing with the pie, right? So dad was very much stuck on, mom makes this pie, she makes the pie every year. She makes it a certain way. I need the pie to be exactly how she made it. If I don't have the pie exactly how she made it, we can't have pie, right? It's a little bit intense, but I also understand. He's grieving. He wants the pie. He wants the comfort pie. But some people, like you said, everybody grieves differently. And so some people are just like, if we're going to do it, it has to be exactly the pie. And some people are like, well, we can't recreate the pie anyway. So let's just do something different anyway. Do you know how, like, so let's say your parents like made the spread. Every time we had Thanksgiving, they were the ones to make it. It was the same stuff every year. Everybody relied on it. And then now somebody's gone, and now the family starts to do like a seafood boil or something that's like not even that. And some people have a hard time with that. But I think it's allowed to be fluid, right? Like add a little bit of the new for the people who need new and
Yeah.
can't cope with the fact that it's not what it was, and then make sure there's a little bit of old so that the people who need it to be a comfort thing can get what they need. You can do both.
Yeah, but I think that, and I agree with that. I think that the thing is, I forgot which video it was that we talked about this. I am one of those people who, like, there are certain foods that taste it certain
We've talked about this
ways
before.
yeah, I'm not sure which video that was, but certain foods that taste it certain ways. So it's almost like that grief feeling in the food of I'm never gonna get this again.
Right.
Or like even when someone tries to imitate it and you taste it and you're like, this ain't it.
And it don't even matter. Like it at that point it doesn't even matter what it tastes like. It could even be good, but it's not what it was. So there we are.
Yeah.
And like being fluid in the fact that some people are like that. They need it to be what it was. And so like if they don't want to touch it, let them not touch it. We can do something totally different. But some people are like, well, this is a tradition. We always make the Christmas cookies before we do X, Y, and Z. Okay, then let them do that.
Yeah.
Add it. Make it how it needs to be made. Be loosey-goosey because that helps everybody be incorporated instead of it just feeling rigid and like having to look like it used to look, because it never will. Like, let's just put it out there. It just never will.
I get it. But hey, like we said, grief can suck sometimes, man.
Grief sucks pretty consistently. I don't think that I like it. It's not a good time.
Yeah. Did you have questions that need answers in this
I
movie?
always got questions that need answers. You know me. I always got questions that need answers.
Let me
Did
see
you
what I
have a
wrote.
lot of questions that
I'm
need
trying to
answers?
think.
Because it was a fun time.
Yes, I do love I mean, I
Used to
guess
be my Christmas movie.
yeah, it really wasn't a question that needed answers. I think it was because after he made the joke about it, when Aunt May showed up unannounced and she had 4 suitcases, but when he said that one of them was probably full of wigs, and then we saw every single scene that we saw her, she had a different wig on. I said that suitcase probably was full of wigs.
And let me emphasize, every single scene. It didn't matter if the day. It was still the same day. When she
She had a whole
came
different wig.
in, she had one wig. When she went to go cook the food and came back, she had on a different wig.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that probably was like a different wig in every suitcase. But yes, you showed up unannounced with 4 suitcases.
Absolutely. So the older sister, she's the dentist or whatever. Who answers the phone with the client
I
right
thought about
there
that
beside
same
them?
thing,
She was like,
too.
"Hold on, I need to take this," and he just like,
Now, granted, now I get it, especially like I think about like a grief, like PTSD type thing. That if I'm sitting there and my dad calls and I'm just like, what? Like, hold on, like let me see.
step outside
But
or something. He's literally like,
but once I realize it's not an emergency,
Get
we're
off my phone.
ending this phone call because you still got this man in the chair and y'all discussing stuff that is not an emergency. I'd have been upset if I was that client.
Absolutely, and we need to also be wary about who we talk about our business in front of, because
Yeah.
clients be going back and talking and saying a lot. A lot of cameos. I did not realize that there were so many cameos. I was like, Gladys? Is that you, Gladys?
Yes, that was Gladys.
Mia with her little red hair, or Maya? What did I say, Mia? And Carrie Hilson. Why did the homewrecker gotta be named Jasmine? That's all.
And be like that sometimes.
I do.
I still stand by the fact that 5 days was a long time.
Absolutely.
To me, that was like a question that needed answered. You want to sit for a whole week, and all of us got to take off work for a whole week and be here and deal with this for a whole week. Now the youngest one, I think was on like school break. I mean, the dentist may be okay. I'm not
But
sure.
even off
But
season,
still,
he was at least
Yeah.
a professional. Like, he was at least at a D1 school doing a whole bunch of stuff. They
No.
barely got off season.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a whole lot.
Do y'all do that? Let me know if y'all do that. Y'all be doing like a whole week together with y'all
Which
family.
some people can do that, but
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Which is why he brought his assistant with him. So that's a whole nother thing.
Which is weird. Okay.
Why would they make the child eat the food that nobody else wanted?
I literally put that, and they held his nose and put it in his mouth. Like, if that was not traumatizing to me, y'all didn't want it, and then they're gonna hurt. And then that little boy was sick for like 2 days after that. They said he's still not doing well. Like, he ate one piece of food and it tore him up like that.
First of all, the disrespect was too much, because you could just say you don't want the Asian food. But it actually looked like she cooked it and she did what she was supposed to do. Just nobody wanted it.
I want to know where it came from. You did not find that in his refrigerator. You did
You know
not
this.
find that in his refrigerator.
And you know this. My question is, but this is probably my dysfunction showing, which was, if you don't get cussed out by an elder, is it really Christmas? Is it really Christmas if an elder in the family, auntie or an uncle, don't cuss you out just a little bit?
I don't know. I
Don't
deal with
don't
that, and I
cuss
wish I
you
would.
full out, but just be like, get it together. I feel like you need a little something.
Nope.
Like when everybody go get a plate and aunties be like, you didn't let the aunties and uncles get a plate first. And I'd be like, oh, my bad.
I was
Just
hungry.
a little something.
I was hungry.
That's all.
We talk about cameos. I said something about Monica being a waitress again in another movie. I was like, who be calling her and being like, girl, we just need you for this one scene. Be the waitress at this diner.
It'd be like that. That's the same thing with Gladys.
Yeah.
And she said like 2 lines.
She
That was
did.
it.
I
I called
mean-
her Maya. That's definitely Monica. Why I be like this? Why? Well, first of all, I said Danny ain't never been young, but y'all already know how I feel about that.
What about Danny Glover?
Yes, because when I was watching the movie, somebody asked me. They were like, "Is he alive? Is he still alive?" And we looked up his age. I know. And then I was like, he was old in this movie. And this movie was made in 2016. So I would just leave that there for you. Why the plug was called Little Discount? Do you remember that? He said the plug was called Little Discount. Why would you? That's crazy. And you know somebody made that up, because I ain't never met nobody named Little Discount.
I mean, I don't know. I might have. What I thought was hilarious / disrespectful. I feel like that maybe they were just all in the moment and we didn't really know what to do. So when Carrie Hilson's character shows up at the dinner and she's really eating, like she is like playing this like Delulu
Getting it,
role
getting it.
to like the 10th power. Like she is delusional. She the only person eating. You don't see, like, how you go to somebody else's house and you don't realize that you're the only person eating? You are sitting there eating this food. Ain't nobody else eating. You keep looking up. You see that ain't nobody else eating. You say, oh, I have a picture of me and him. You want to see it? And you pass your phone. And the entire table passes this phone around to the table. And everybody looks at this picture of you and this man sitting at the table.
Yeah, but in her defense, she didn't have any reason to think anything else.
Ma'am, you fell in love with 2 days in the man that you met in the grocery store. Stop it.
She was lonely. It was Christmas season.
Stop it.
It's cuffing season. On Christmas. On Christmas.
In the freezer of the grocery section, film. Like, y'all not in love. Stop it.
On Christmas. And she was young. He was much older.
Listen.
Yeah, so that, I'm going to say 2 things about Kimberly Elise, and this is what I have. Does she always play someone who gets cheated on? Has she ever played somebody who has a faithful husband?
She ain't had no husband when she was TT and set it off.
You right. So, okay, she is a single or she is a man that cheats on her. So I'm sorry about that, ma'am.
I'm trying to think about, she was a single mom and hit the floor, wasn't she? Goodness.
Okay, then.
Okay,
Also,
I'm going to keep thinking about this. That's a good question. Okay.
Did you know she had a split? Did you know she could do the splits?
Oh, no, I did not know that.
I did not know. She had to be like classically or trained in dancing or something.
But she did play like a former cheerleader and hit the floor. I wonder if there's like something in there.
I'm sure that she has like a dance background. She has to, because the way she hit that split, I was like, oh, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She been doing this. Okay, I got it. She also did some other moves. Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will also say too, and maybe this is just like my little, like my own side thing. If you're holding on to resentment from someone if you're an adult and you're holding on to resentment from someone from high school, you might want to check on that.
Clean it up, There's plenty of time to get in there, just tidy up a little bit, see what's going on. You don't have to hold on to that.
For all of us.
And especially when the thing that would solve it was a conversation.
Yeah,
that's
because
of
he
like,
had no idea.
that person didn't lie.
Yeah.
That person was telling the truth.
And
this
he
is how you
had
handle.
no idea what
okay.
was going on. So I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's all. Who y'all? Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever. Everything. Kwanzaa. All the stuff.
Yeah. You gonna pay what you owe, Santa. We should do Boondocks next.
And we love you. And you will stay mentally strong. Bye, y'all.